nah, man, I don't help out homeless people, you know. Obviously, in the past, there's been a few times where I've bought homeless people food. So I remember one time I was making weight for a taekwondo competition, and I saw this kind of, I think, like Romanian gypsy woman sitting outside. I think it was a KFC. I went and I bought her some food. I thought to myself, well, you know what, if I can't eat, because when I used to make weight, I used to basically not eat, yeah? So I thought, well, if I can't eat, then someone else can eat today. So I went and bought her some food. Now, obviously, there's been other times where I've bought people food and that. There's only been one time where I've given a homeless person money. And what happened was, and I spoke about this in a video the other day on one of my other accounts. I was sitting in traffic at Tottenham Hill. There's a homeless guy on the island. And about 5 cars ahead, there was this van. And the homeless man was talking to the guy in the van, and he was pointing in the van. Yeah, so I think what the hell's going on? Like, when I'm sitting down here in this traffic, I'm thinking, right, I'm getting ready to ignore this person because I ain't giving you no money or no whatever in it is. So the guy's pointing in the van. Obviously, I'm sitting behind the van. I can't see in the van. But what I'm saying is, the guy in the van, I'm assuming it's a guy, gave him the half-eaten sandwich. And the homeless guy was eating the sandwich. I was like, yo! Like, I swear, I got good eyesight, yeah? I could see that the sandwich was half-eaten. And he was eating a man's half-eaten sandwich, blood. I was like, yo! Anyway, I looked. I saw £5. The traffic started moving. As I was approaching him, I wound down my window. I gave him £5. I was like, here. I'm like, yo, that guy's serious. Because you know that some of these people were hanging around on the street and that. And like, you know the funniest thing is that some of these homeless people that hang around on the street, I mean, you would have heard this before, but this is actually true. I've done a reaction video to it as well, yeah? Some of these homeless people actually have a hostel that they can live and stay in, you know? They just decide to sit on the street all day long. How mad is that? You have a hostel. You have a roof over your head and you prefer to sleep out on the street. Because some of them even have a hostel and they prefer to sleep out on the street. Or at least spend the whole day out on the street. Like, I understand, yeah, like, it's boring in a hostel and that. If you're homeless, you ain't got nothing going on in your life and that, and you're living in a hostel and that. Like, because the reason why I said homeless and hostel, apparently, technically, if you're living in a hostel, you're technically homeless, you know? Like, being homeless doesn't necessarily mean sleeping out in the street and lying in piss. You know what I mean? Not washed for 5 days and like, apparently, technically, like, if you're sofa surfing, you're sleeping on people's sofas and that, you're homeless technically. You're living in a youth hostel or a hostel, you're homeless technically, allegedly. So some of these homeless people actually have somewhere to, you know, stay, but they decide to spend the whole night, whole day out on the street. Like, I don't understand why they like sitting on the floor. I mean, obviously they're begging and that, innit? But the craziest thing about my man, yeah, the guy from the video, is obviously I done a reaction video to it that was like, I don't know, 6-8 months ago or something like that. About to walk into the Poundland in this Northampton area. I'm like, yo, that's my man. So anyway, boom. During the video, like, not the one I reacted to, but the one that you just saw, well, the one that, you know, I uploaded before I actually saw him and that, because the one that I done the reaction video to was a lot different. Same thing though, but basically at the end of the video that I added to my video when I saw him, it's getting a bit confusing now. But anyway, the narrator must have said, yeah, the guy's hoping to set up a homeless charity to help out people like him. I'm thinking, well, I've seen him now. Obviously, when I done the reaction video to it like 6-8 months ago and that, like, the time in between him actually getting filmed by whoever filmed it and now it's probably about 2 years, yeah? I think to myself, like, my man is still homeless. What's the point of me fucking helping him out, bro? The reason why he's homeless is because he made bad decisions. If you heard the video, there was the narrator was saying that the guy was addicted to heroin and that. You can't help those people. They have to help themselves. Really and truly, you can't really help anyone, really. You know, you have to let them, they have to find a way to help themselves, man. So yeah, man, I don't help out homeless people, man. I think it's kind of pointless, to be fair, man. They're just gonna go back to doing what they did before, man. I guarantee you could give that guy 100 grand in cash. Oh, I got individual. Within 10 years or so, they end up going back broke. Like, they end up losing all their money and that. So there's just no helping some of these people, man.